Hi, and welcome to the Ichigo Abroad Podcast. My name's Sophia. I am Ichigo Knitter on both Ravelry and Instagram. I also have a blog called dreamingworldsaway.blogspot.com where you can find this video and any other crazy pictures and stories about my life here in Japan. Today is Monday, November 3rd. It is starting to get really cold outside. It's finally November. The leaves are starting to change a bit. It's down in the lower 60s today. That's cold for the temperature I've had so far here. So today I've got my long sleeve turtleneck on. I wore a jacket to school. It's wonderful. That's all I can say is it's wonderful. Yeah, so it's great. However, it is Monday. So, of course, it was an interesting start to my day. I discovered that I had apparently washed my hair with body soap. Yeah, that happened. So I had to rewash my hair with regular shampoo. Because I was like, yeah, this is definitely shampoo. It wasn't. Nope. It was my body soap. So my hair, even though I rewashed it, I'm kind of like, I don't know, like overthinking it. Like, I'm like, yeah. Anyways. My Monday. Yeah, so this past week was Halloween, and Halloween here in Japan is crazy fun. The campus had a school-wide Halloween party on Wednesday because Thursday and Friday was dedicated to the school festival. So everyone on campus dressed up, and it was like serious costumes. One really big thing that I've noticed here in Japan is that a lot of people like to do group costumes, so everyone within the group wears the exact same costume, which was really interesting to see. I've never really seen a lot of people do that in America, and it was really, they weren't just like, whatever, toss on a pair of cat ears and say you're a cat. It was like elaborate, like full face makeup, like full body costumes, like these intense like dresses, and I saw like a group of like 4 girls dressed up as like ballerinas. There were some guys walking around in white bodysuits and lemon hats. I didn't know what they were doing, but it was cool. There were lots of Disney princesses. There were a lot of guys as Disney princesses. Sorry about that. My iPad decided that it didn't have enough memory. It turns out I didn't actually delete old things. Oops. Anyways, yeah, Halloween was great. Everyone was in fantastic costumes. There was, the bands played some really fun. They played Thriller. That was really cool, an orchestral Thriller. It was great. It was all day long. Everybody wore costumes to classes. Everybody was going to lunch in costumes. At the end of the day, there was a costume contest. It was great. It was just a lot of fun to experience. 2 of my friends and I went as Sailor Scouts from a anime/manga here called Sailor Moon. Which was actually pretty big in America in the late 90s, early 2000s, I think. I watched it when I was like 5 years old, and now I'm really into it again because, why not? So we had a lot of fun with that. People would stop us and ask for pictures like every 5 seconds. It was a great experience. And then Thursday and Friday we didn't have school because the Thursday was set up for the school festival and Friday was the school festival. So on Thursday, since we didn't have any involvement with the setup, a couple of my friends and I went into Sanjo, which is a part of Kyoto, and we went shopping, which was great fun. We went to a store called Loft to go look at all of the Halloween costumes they still had on sale, and to our surprise, we discovered a lot of Christmas things. They had Christmas costumes, reindeer hats, advent calendars, mini stockings pre-filled with candy. They're ready. They're ready already. It was really fun to see. They also had tons of elaborate costumes, a lot more than I've ever seen at a store like in America. They also have very like intense wigs and makeup and a lot of Alice in Wonderland and Disney princess costumes for sure. It was really cool. It was fun to just look at. And I definitely know where to go for Christmas candy. We also went wandering around. We went to a restaurant to get lunch, and a big thing here in Japan that I've noticed is that a lot of restaurants carry parfaits as dessert. When you're walking down the street, you'll see a lot of glass cases filled with fake food, like the plastic food representing the actual meals that they have available. And there will be lots and lots of cases filled with parfaits. So I've been trying to try different parfaits. They're really delicious here. And at this particular restaurant, they had a strawberry espresso parfait, which meant that you had a parfait with like ice cream and cornflakes and strawberries and whipped cream. And on the side, it came with a little cup of espresso. And you pour the espresso into the parfait. And let me tell you, it was incredible. I was so happy. It was my great food moment of the day. I was so happy. I really like coffee, and I really like parfaits. And if you put those two together, that makes a happy Sophia. We also went to a store called Animate, which is a chain store here, filled with anime products. Because, you know, we're all really nerdy and we love our anime things. But outside of the store, they have, I'd say maybe 50 gacha machines, which are, they're like, in America, if you go into a grocery store, you have those little sticker machines that little kids ask their mom for 25 cents to get. It's like that, but they're actually collectible items, and they're more expensive. Mostly anime products, and they range in price from about 100 yen to 300 yen, which is about $1 to $3. And they're really addictive because they're very collectible. Usually each machine will have about 5 set products within it, and, you know, obviously it's a chance whether you will get what you wanted or what you didn't want, and sometimes you want all of them, and you have to go around looking to see if you can find another machine that has the particular characters you're looking for. And so we all stopped and we're looking at them because I like to collect these little gacha. And they had a new one that I hadn't seen before that's for one of my favorite animes called Black Butler. And I kind of freaked out because it's literally one of my favorites. And I may have spent a lot of money getting all of the characters. This one I think was a 300 yen one, so that was about $3 per toy thing. And I did get lucky. There were 3 of the machines, so I kind of hopped from one to the other of this same theme machine. And I managed to get all 5 of the characters with only a couple repeats, I think. So I got my pile of... I don't even want to think about how much money I spent on these little guys. Okay. So they're all little characters. Let's see. 4 and 5. And yeah, they're adorable. I love them, and they're great for collecting, but the money that goes into my obsession, I don't want to think about it. Anyways, I also, in the store, I bought another one. It's for Sailor Moon, because Sailor Moon's probably one of my all-time favorites as well. Yeah, I think probably when I get home, what I'm going to do is get one of those cushioned pin boards that you hang up on the wall, and usually people put pictures in them, but I think I'm just going to hang up all of the little characters I got. It's a really fun, little collectible mystery thing, but it hurts my wallet. Anyways. Okay, let's get on to knitting. That was my week of glorious adventures. So, I have FOs this week. Oh! After 2 months, I finished my shawl. It happened. It happened at 2 in the morning. So, ta-da! Woo. This is my completed geology shawl by Boho Knits. It was glorious to knit. It took me 2 months because this was my pick up and put down project that I only used in my dorm because of all the charts. But these are the last 2 charts of it. It was fantastic knit. I don't, unfortunately, have any blocking pins with me here, so my mom's actually going to bring some in December when she comes visit me. So until then, it's going to be this kind of wavy, but that's fine. I love it the way it is. It's great. Perfect. Oh, I lost an end. Where'd it go? I'm going to get it, I promise. There we go. It's really squishy, and it's going to be fantastic as the temperature's now starting to actually drop. Oh, I really love how it came out, and I'm sure it's just going to expand when I block it, but it's got a couple months. Well, yeah, it's only the beginning of November, a couple months till I get to block it and see how it really grows. But until then, I love it. It came out great, and I'm really excited with it. And I actually have quite a bit of leftover yarn, which I don't really know how I did that. I suppose I could have repeated again, like the pattern said, if I wanted to make it bigger, but I didn't realize I had so much yarn left. But that's okay, because I've started a bag of leftover yarn to bring back with me to add on to my sock blanket that's back home in America, because I didn't really want to drag that with me, because I felt like it would just keep growing, and then that would be a hassle to bring back, so I kind of just have to sit here and collect my sock yarn when I come back. But yes, this was a fantastic knit. I highly recommend it for anyone that likes shawls. It's a lot of charts, but they're simple charts. They're really easy to memorize really quickly, and it was great. I loved it. It was fantastic. I might keep this on. It's kind of squishy. My second FO was my socks. Yes. Just ignore the ends. I haven't weaved them in yet. I finished these last night. This is my finished pair of Electric Avenue socks by Sarah Stevens. Again, this is Dancing Dog Dye Works yarn in Zen Garden and Stormy. Now this, I have a lot left over. I don't think I knit my legs very long, which is probably why I usually end up with a lot more leftover sock yarn. However, with this one, I think it's even more significant because I used a different color for the heel, toe, and top there. So I think I'll probably make a hat with the rest of it. I know Stockinette Zombies is doing a November, December gift cal. And it's like, treat yourself or treat a friend. And I was like, I could treat myself to a hat. So I think I might maybe do that. It'd be a fun motivator to use up a lot of this yarn. And it'd be cool to see how it pools in a hat with a larger number of stitches, actually. I'd love to see what other ways this really fun color will come out. But yeah, just in time too, because I've just started wearing my knitted socks for the season. I've got another pair. Yay! Yeah, so there's a lot of ends to weave in, but I'll get to it eventually, whatever. Let's see. Also, well, that's it for FOs. And I actually right now currently only have one thing on the needles because I was trying to really just get back to monogamous knitting, even for just a little bit, because I have a couple essays and projects I have to do coming up. So let's see. I was working on that The Wild Thing by Susan Claudino, and then I discovered that in a drawer, as knitting college student would, I had a thing of bulky yarn just shoved in a drawer, and I was like, why am I knitting this fingering when I can knit it giant? So I ripped out the original and I recast on in bulky weight yarn. I had leftover bulky yarn from my hat, and then I had this other bulky yarn that was just sitting in my drawer. And so here is leg number 1 of my very big Wild Thing. I think this guy is going to be huge, and I'm really excited about it because I think this will probably be the biggest stuffy I've ever made. I decided to use, since I have both of those bulky yarns left over, I decided that I'd make this a very colorful Wild Thing. The pattern has the option to do a bare Wild Thing or a pajamaed one, but I decided to do it bare and have the limbs alternating colors. So say this is the right leg, then the left leg will be gray, and then the opposite arms will be gray and blue, and the body will be blue, and then the ears will be opposite colors. So I did the toes. There's going to be one gray toe and 2 blue toes, and that's going to be the same on the other foot. I've got the other toes ready to go. So I finished this foot. Actually, I started and finished this foot last night. So I think I'm going to try and see if I can do, like, a limb a night. Right now, I have a paper due at the end of the week that I have not started yet. So that's probably going to take up most of my time, maybe. I say that now, but now I'm not going to work on the paper. Because this is too fun. The yarn is really soft. This blue color is Misty Alpaca Chunky. And I used it a long time ago for a headband, but that used very, very little of the yarn. So I have a ton left over, and the reason it's stuffed in a drawer is because my mom used it as package stuffing when she sent me a package, and why not use it? So I'm really excited. I can't wait to see how this comes out. It should be great size, which will be really exciting because then I'll have another little... I have like a array of crazy things up there on my shelves above my desk, so I had this little guy. Yeah, it's coming out great. It's incredibly soft. It knits up really fast because, you know, it's bulky yarn. I'm doing it on size 7 needles because the pattern recommended going down a couple sizes from the actual size recommended for the yarn so that it's nice and tight. So I'm using a pair of 7s, and that seems to be perfect. There's nothing sticking out. But yeah, I'm really excited about that, and hopefully next week I'll have more of a wild thing to show you. Put that away. Oh, I have the leftovers. Seriously, guys, I don't know what is up with me when it comes to sock knitting, but look at all this yarn I have left. Look at that. That's like, I don't know, it seems like it's more than half the skein, but I have no sense of size or weight of yarn. I know a lot of people, and I wish I could do this too, but I'm just so lazy, will like keep track of how many grams they have in a ball of yarn, and that'd be so helpful, but I never do it. So I don't really know how much yarn is left, but just by the feel, it seems like there's, yeah, see that? It's like, so I think I can make a hat. I figure, hopefully this was the heel toe color. I think this should be enough for the brim of the hat, and then do the body of the hat with this. But we'll see what that happens. I hope it does. Oh, I've also started doing a little thing. In Japan, there's some candies sometimes come with prizes. I mean, I guess that's probably the same all over the world. But one of the things is there is little tins. And this was a mint tin, so it had orange mints inside of it, but it's also promotion for a very popular anime right now called Shingeki no Kyojin, which means Attack on Titan. And this is one of the characters from Shingeki, and I love this anime. I love a lot of anime, guys. But I thought this would be a great use for stitch markers. Yay! So I have 2 so far. I have this one, and I think, if I'm right, the other one, yep. The other one I have is a Pokemon one. Woohoo! It's kind of hard to see, yeah. Pokemon time. And on the back, it's got a cute little Pokemon. But it's like the perfect size for keeping all of my little notions. So I've started doing that. I think I might keep an eye out for more, because I really jazz up my knitting. So that's really fun. It was just, thought I'd share my crazy idea. I really like knitting accessories. That's a thing. Got my knitting. So that is all my crazy knitting this week. There's yarn fuzzies everywhere. Let's see. So, like I said before, it's getting cold here. It's turning into fall. I was actually really excited this morning, when I was walking to the bike racks after class. Some of the trees are actually really turning color. Now they're starting to get those nice reds and browns, which is really fun because I've been really thrown off by the fact that fall comes much later in Japan, which, I mean, it's a really interesting experience, like going somewhere completely different in the world and getting the chance to experience, like for people in Japan, this is totally normal, but, like, for someone like me who lives in upstate New York and goes to school in Vermont, I'm like, this should be happening in September. Like, I see on Instagram that some people have snowstorms already, and I'm like, it's in the 60s here. But it's a really fun experience. And so I got really excited that it's now becoming fall, because I'm a real fall person. I think fall's probably my favorite season of the year, particularly because it comes that nice brisk weather, which means knitted things and cider and hot chocolate and coffee. And also, for me, means video games. I do play video games. I go in and out of actively playing them. It really depends on if I have a video game that really captures my interest, because as of recently in my life, if I have free time, I usually want to spend it knitting. But I do really love video games, and now that the temperature is starting to drop, I've been really craving playing video games again. Particularly, I have one game called Skyrim, which is a very popular kind of free world game. It's basically set in like otherworld medieval era, because it's like a fantasy medieval world because there's dragons, and you can choose what race of species you are from all of these like fantasy species. My character is a Khajiit, which is a cat person, because why not? But it's on the computer. The game itself you can get for different systems. You can get it for like the PlayStation or Skyrim. It is Skyrim for Xbox, but I have it for my computer. Unfortunately, I'm terrible with the computer controls, but there's the option of purchasing an Xbox controller and plugging it into your computer, and it works the same way as if you were playing it on a different system, just with the controller that is more natural for me to use. And I have an Xbox controller that I used to play Skyrim, but I left it in America, because, I came here and I was like, I won't need to play it, I'm fine, whatever, I haven't played it in a couple months. No, that was a silly mistake. Now I'm sitting here, and I'm just like, I really want to play Skyrim. It's like, evening, it's cold out, I just want to, like, cover myself in blankets and play Skyrim. So I finally gave in and ordered another Xbox controller off Amazon Japan yesterday. Whoops. So that should get here in a couple of days, because I really want to play Skyrim. Yeah, it's a thing. I also have my PlayStation Portable with me, which is really great because what the PlayStation Portable is something called region. It's not region locked. If a system is region locked, it means that it will only play video games that originated in the region that system was made. So if you have say you have a 3DS that you purchased in America, that will only play American versions of the video game. So if you order the game from Japan, it will not play in your system. But the PSP is, in fact, region unlocked. So you can play games from anywhere in the world on your system, which is great for people studying a language like me, because you can get video games in the language you're studying. So I, since I'm studying Japanese, have ordered and gotten a couple of games. Something on top, please. Oh, yeah. Let's go to Pokeball. A couple games in Japanese. So I have Monster Hunter 3, which, as you can see, is completely in Japanese. Very kanji heavy, actually. I'm gonna see if my boyfriend can help me figure it out, because I think he must have played English Monster Hunter before, because I think he knows a little more than me about it. But I've never played this game before, and it's extremely popular in Japan, but I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing, so I'm still stuck in, like, the first town, but figure it out. And then I also have the Japanese Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite game series. It's Disney, basically. It's a combination of Disney and Final Fantasy, and it's really cute. You see Mickey, he's a king, and you get to go to all the different Disney worlds and help destroy this evil thing, and it's fantastic. Anyways, this is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. So what that means is this particular version is only released in Japan. So they released a Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and an American version of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and a version for every other country. However, Final Mix is special in that it uses the English voice actors, but everything is written in Japanese. So all of the all of your choices, all of the functions, everything is in Japanese. So you get to experience the English voice acting, which I really love the English voice actors, because when growing up playing this game, I've always experienced them, and like Mickey Mouse. It's the actual Mickey Mouse voice, so it's like, for me, that's special. But it's written all in Japanese, which is perfect for studying Japanese, especially because I've already played this game in English. So I have the basis to understand what's going on and what I'm reading, which really helps with the understanding. So I have this, and my mom was amazing enough to send me my PSP. So I might play some this afternoon, maybe. I haven't really sat down and played video games, and it's really time. I'm going to play video games. And my excuse is that I'm studying Japanese. Seems fair, but for anyone who might be interested in studying a language, if you like video games, this is a great way to kind of trick yourself into studying, because you're reading the Japanese, and it's a mixture of kanji and hiragana and katakana, but it's a really great way to, again, like reading manga, it's another great way to introduce yourself to furthering your understanding of a language, because you're doing something that you're enjoying and having fun doing and will want to do more of, but at the same time you're still being exposed to the actual language, which is great. I highly recommend it. I love it, but, I'm a nerd. What am I talking about? Got a Pokeball. But yeah, so I think that's probably going to be my plans for this week, is video games and essay writing. It has to be 4 to 6 pages on a film comparison of probably Lost in Translation and Ramen Girl. Both films of which, by the way, are really fantastic and funny and really sweet. If anyone would like to watch a film about foreigners stuck in Japan, they're both really sweet, cute movies. Ramen Girl is about a girl who comes with her boyfriend to Japan, and then he breaks up with her and leaves. So she's stuck in the middle of Tokyo with no understanding of the language or anything, and she ends up working at a ramen shop. And it's just a fantastic film. And Lost in Translation stars Bill Murray. It's a very famous film. It's great. Bill Murray plays an actor who's in Japan filming a Suntory ad, and there's another girl staying at the hotel whose husband is a photographer, and so he's doing photography work in Japan. But she doesn't really have a job, and she's kind of lost in what she's doing, and neither of her nor Bill Murray know or understand anything about Japan. And it's really cute. It's a cute movie about two people just completely lost in a different culture, and I love it. I highly recommend either of them. They're great watches. Like, if you like watching movies while knitting, those would be fantastic. I usually, when I knit, will watch TV, or here I don't have a TV, obviously. There's a TV in the kitchen, but it's usually just Japanese news. So I usually watch YouTube. I watch a ton of podcasts. Like, I will actually just binge watch podcasts. That's a thing. I also watch a Let's Play group on YouTube called Game Grumps. And what a Let's Play group is they play through video games, but these ones, they're comedic. So they play through video games and they're goofing around. It's really funny, and it's a great exposure to video games. If you have any interest in video games like myself. Another thing, actually, I wanted to mention that I do while knitting. I know my mom particularly likes to listen to a lot of audio podcasts, and I usually like to watch video podcasts. I like to see physical projects, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to knit that. But I have gotten into, not a knitting podcast, that's audio, a story podcast. It's incredible. It's called Night Vale. I'm sure some of you have probably heard of it. If you've never listened to Night Vale and you want to laugh, it's the best thing ever. And they're still doing it. They've been doing it for like over 2 years now. And it's like twice monthly, a podcast, usually about 30 minutes long. And it's basically a story of this town called Night Vale being told through the perspective of the town's radio host. So it's basically a radio show, but it's really telling the story of this crazy, crazy town, like completely crazy. Nothing about it's normal, and they're so serious about the abnormality of it that it's hilarious. I was listening to one last night where the cat that has been permanently floating in the men's bathroom of the radio station is getting out of surgery after being attacked by a bio machine. Because why? Why not? You know. It's great. It's really funny. It's really quirky. It's there's tons and tons of episodes. I think there's probably like 50-something episodes now. So if you like to listen to audio podcasts while you knit at all or while you're driving, I highly recommend Night Vale. It's great. It just makes me laugh. It's something I love to listen to all the time. Even if I'm not doing anything, I'll just listen to Night Vale. It's great. So I think that's all of my ramblings for today. I hope everyone has a wonderful week and fabulous knitting. Enjoy fall, and I'll see you next time. Bye! 入場ゲートでお受け取りになった駐車券は必ずLike it's actually good when you take a chance type of thing. What with really good. Yeah, this style is cool. And this is an 会話およびご飲食はご遠慮ください。